Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you were given two fractions. I told you to write a couple, 2, 3, 19 fractions that were equivalent to each one of those. So two separate things you have to do. But then, when I call on you, you're going to have to explain how you know they're equivalent. You're going to have to explain how you know they're equivalent. So let's start with Caitlin. Yeah, give me a fraction equal to 6/10. 20 twelfths. And how did you come up with 20 twelfths?
So I just doubled the 6 and, you switched the...
Oh, so the first one you say is the top. So 12 twentieths.
Yeah.
So you doubled it.
Yeah.
How do you double something?
I mostly do 6 times 2.
Times 2, good. When you double something, you're multiplying by 2. Now, Dallin, let me ask you a question. Okay, you ready for this question? You ready? 42 times 1. 42, that's a tough question now. That's a tough question. That's tough. I know it's tough. Now, because I know I'm smart, do you know how to make a fraction that equals 1, Joel? What kind of fraction equals 1? Not an improper fraction. Oh, Jonah?
You just do 2 whole, 1 whole, which is 1 over 1 or 5 over 5, because...
Okay, 1 over 1, 5 over 5. So what explain that?
So for example, 5 is your denominator.
Uh-huh.
And you have 5 1/5. 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 5/5.
Okay. Okay, so if you have 5 1/5, it equals 5/5, which equals 1. Allie?
The numerator and the denominator, if they're the exact same number, then that means that it's the whole. So then you would right next to that makes 1 whole.
Good. So if the numerator and denominator are exactly the same, like 5/5 that Jonah told me, then that fraction equals 1. So let me ask this. If I made 2 halves, does that equal 1?
Yes.
Okay? So let me leave myself some space here. So according to Kaylin, if I multiplied both of these by 2, is that right, Kaylin? Okay? And the fraction 2 over 2 equals 1. And 6 times 2 is
12.
And 10 times 2 is
20.
That means that these are the same. Same value. Same value. If, let's say, Adam took a test and got 6 of the 10 questions correct, but I don't like Jacob, so I gave Jacob a test with 20 questions, and he got 12 out of 20 correct, same grade.
Yeah.
Same exact grade.
So
It'd be a 60. All right, any other fractions that somebody put down that is equal to 6/10? Juliet? 24 40ths. And how do you know that?
because if you multiply 12 20ths by 2, you get 24.
Okay, so I could multiply this by 4 over 4. Or I could multiply this by 2 over 2. And both of those would give me 24 40ths. Maddie Ryback. No, you're not Maddie Ryback.
You're not Maddie.
Adam.
You're looking at me.
Yeah?
3/5.
3/5. Okay, so you're saying 6/10 equals 3/5. Explain.
Because if you divide both of them by 2, you could have 6 divided by 2 is 3 and 10 divided by 2 is 5.
So same thing with division. If I multiply by 1, the value is the same. If I divide by 1, the value is the same. So according to Maddie here, if we divided 6/10 by 2/2, and I know 2/2 equals 1, I'm going to get 3/5. Same value. Same value. Giovanni takes a test, and because I like him the best, I only give him 5 questions. But darn it, he only gets 3 of those 5 questions right. So he gets the same 60 that Jacob did. All right, so let's look at 9/15. 9/15. Abby, what do you have for 9/15?
18/30.
And how did you get 18/30?
Because I multiplied 9 times 2 and 15 times 2, and
Good.
I got 18.
Good. So she multiplied by 1. But she multiplied by 2/2, and that fraction equals 1. Let's see, Grayson, what'd you get?
What was the question again?
Do you have any fractions that are equivalent to 9/15?
Nope.
Well, that was the assignment I asked you to do.
Wait, yes, you did.
Okay.
3/5.
3/5. And how did you get that?
So I divided it by 3.
Okay, so you divided by 3/3. And remember, we said dividing by 1 leaves the answer the same. Adam. Tell me. 36/60. And how did you get that?
I multiplied 9 by 4.
And you got 36/60. Now there are an infinite... No?
No, it's 50. 36/50.
15 times 4. What's 15 times 2?
30.
And
Okay.
So it is 60. All right, there are an infinite number of equivalent fractions. Because I could multiply by 2, I could multiply by 3, I could multiply by 4, I could multiply by 5. So you could do an infinite number. Okay, but recognizing the equivalent, the important part of this is recognizing that you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same thing, or you have to divide the numerator and denominator by the same thing. That's the important part, folks. Subscribe.